guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Benita. Here we talk about all the things that we love as it relates to lifestyle and luxury. So today we are in the studio and we are going to talk to you guys about making a change, starting your own business, that type of thing. Over on Instagram, in response to a post that I did about making a change for myself, I had a lot of questions and I saw that a lot of people were doing the same thing. So with that being said, I thought maybe it'd be a good time for us just to share, talk about some of the things that I would suggest you do, talk about some of the struggles I had. So I put a sticker over on Instagram to ask me some questions, and I did pick 5 of those questions, and we're going to talk about those today. So if you like this type of video, please just keep on watching. All right, so right off the bat, the first question was, how did you get started? Well, let me just back up. The first thing that I did when I felt in my spirit that I wanted to do something new, and in another day in a life vlog, I will link it down below, I talked about, how I really arrived at this business. I am a cosmetic tattoo artist. I focus on cosmetic brow work. One of the end goals for me also is to do paramedical tattooing, and I will link that information down below if you're not quite sure what that is. But when I arrived at the fact that I did want to start something new, I really had to go into prayer, even to make sure this is something that I should do. Even sometimes there's things that we want to do, but then we have to really take a hard look at it. Is it even something that we should do? So that's really the first thing. I would call that pre-work, the pre-game. That's what I did even before I actually started the business. So after I did that, the next thing that I did was I did seek out business help with a business coach. And I work with a girl by the name of Brittany, and she is local. I will link her information down below. We did a podcast on how to start a business. So the podcast information, I will leave it for you guys as well. But she is local here in North Carolina, but she does work with people out of state because, she's virtual, obviously. She really works with businesses of all types, but she's not afraid to work with individuals. So a one-woman show, a one-man show, whatever you have, I think she would be a really good place to start. She is also, in my opinion, a grassroots person. She really dissects your business and helps you to realize where you are and what you need to do. Another person that I found on Instagram, I personally have not worked with her yet, but she comes highly recommended, is Kendra Hill. And she is someone who just is amazing. She gives you business information over on Instagram, and she also gives you spiritual information and spiritual guidance as well. In her line of work, she really talks about, how to scale your business. And for me in the future, she is someone who I will definitely work with. The second question said, is it smart to begin something new in a pandemic, like a business, etc.? And the short answer to that is yes, because if not now, when? So we can always use the pandemic as an excuse. I can't start because we're in a global pandemic. It's not a good time. It's never going to be a good time. The pandemic was a great time and is a great time to start a business because it started new needs, and there's things that I know people who started, mask businesses and things of that nature. It's really a good time to start any type of business, but a lot of people did like good and services businesses during the pandemic. So let's don't use that as an excuse. It's definitely a good time to start. My second tip to that question would be, just don't be afraid. We can find a million reasons to talk ourselves out of doing something, and the flip side of that is we also can find a million reasons to talk ourselves into doing something. I think Kendra Hill, she noted that she made over like $1 million or $1 million during the pandemic. So there's monies to be made, and there's money out there. Also too, during the pandemic, we know that there were ebbs and flows in the economy, and the economy is currently bouncing back, but there's monies out there for people who want to start businesses. There's monies, there's grants, there's funding, there's, low interest loans. There's money out there for you if you're very interested in starting a business. So yes, it definitely would be a good time. The third question was, what resources do you use as it relates to starting a business and being a business owner? Of course, my third tip to that would be definitely seek resources. So the resources that I use are the Small Business Administration, SBA.gov, and then when you first click on that, the first thing that comes up says, I think it says COVID relief funding. So get on it. The second resource I use is the American Businesswomen Association, because I am a woman. I have a woman-owned business, so of course I'm going to use that avenue. Locally in my town, I use the Junior League. That is a good resource for business as well. And also too, if you are a part of a sorority or a fraternity, though, that would be a great place, probably the first place to start. Any kind of groups and organizations that you're in, there are going to be business owners there, and you always want to align yourself with people who've been in business longer than you, people who are just starting out just like you, people who do things that are totally different from you. You always want to align yourself with those and use them as a resource, because business is business. No matter if you're selling a light bulb or if you're doing eyebrows, there are going to be some common trends there as it relates to business. So you always want to align yourself with those type of people and those organizations. Before, this is a great one. It said, did you have any reservations to start this late in the game to change your career, i.e. your age? As you know, I am 48 years old and I do a lot of things. I am a teacher by trade. I have a teaching degree and I also have a psychology degree. But a few years back, I really felt the need to kind of pivot and change what I did as a career. I will always be a teacher. I will always keep my license up to date. I will always stay in the know with teaching because that's just my passion, is what I love to do. I love to disseminate information, but I wanted to try it in a different avenue. So yes, I did have reservations as it relates to my age, because in this industry, in the cosmetic brow type micro-shading, microblading industry, when I first started, I only saw people who were younger than me. My actual trainer in Miami, she is in her late 20s. I don't even think she's 30, and she is really killing it in the game, if you will. I definitely have reservations. But my tip to the whole age thing would be, don't ignore your age. There's benefits to being older and there's benefits to being younger. For me, as it relates to my age, as we get older, our brow hairs get very thin, whether it be from over-tweezing over the years or just the change in the way your hair grows. I service a lot of women in my age group. They really want to restore their hair. If they see that it's not growing back, or if they see that, they just want to make an overall change to their brows. So I kind of market myself specifically to all women, but I do have a niche group of women in their late 30s and well into their 40s and up. I use my age as an advantage. And let's just be honest, because of social norms and the way of the world, there are restrictions and things that people put on you. Oh, you're too old to do this, or you're too young to do this. But you have to kind of ignore the chatter, and you have to just move forward and use your age, whatever age you are, to your advantage. And the fifth and final question, and my fifth tip would be, so the question was, how do you balance it all? So my fifth tip also would be, then you have to stick to a schedule. You really have to, starting anything new, when things are new, it's just that they're new, right? You really don't know what you're doing. You really don't know how to do it. So you really have to stick to a schedule. You're gonna have to, work-life balance is very important. I know that's probably not a buzzword anymore. I don't think people use that, but balance to me is very important. My husband has given me 100% support, but I cannot dive into this business head on and never have any time for him or the family. So you have to find a way to balance it. And what I do, I have specific days of the week that I'm here, that I work. It's going to change as my business grows, but when I'm here, I'm working here, I'm only focusing on here, I'm posting about here, I'm doing things here. I put my phone on do not disturb. They know that do not call me unless it's an emergency. So if I look at my phone and I see that I have a missed call from them or a text, then I will pick up because I know that it's an emergency. You're just gonna have to do the work, and you're just gonna have to be intentional about the balance and just absolutely implement all the things that work for you, whether it be list, hiring an assistant, whether it be only working on the weekends, only working during the week. It's gonna be whatever works for you. Right guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stick around for the office tour, and make sure you're following us on Instagram. I will put all of our information down below. All the resources we talked about should be down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.